For centuries, society has been shaped by the concept of gender, most often defined by the binary categories of male and female. These classifications have influenced social roles, expectations, laws, and cultural norms, determining how individuals are perceived and what opportunities are available to them. As our understanding of identity continues to evolve, these rigid categories are increasingly being questioned. New perspectives are emerging, challenging the notion of fixed gender identities and encouraging greater inclusivity and self-expression. This shift prompts us to rethink what gender means and imagine a future where identity is not confined by traditional boundaries, setting the stage for examining how recent changes are impacting people's lives. Legislative changes have recently reshaped the rights and recognition of gender identity in the United States. For instance, Iowa's removal of gender identity from its Civil Rights Code means transgender and non-binary individuals are no longer protected from discrimination in vital areas such as employment and housing. At the federal level, the U.S. Census Bureau has moved to eliminate questions about gender identity from its surveys, following an executive order that defines sex strictly as male or female. These policy shifts reduce visibility and legal protections for many, leading to increased challenges in accessing fair treatment and recognition. Against this backdrop, generational attitudes toward gender are also evolving. Generation Z is at the forefront of a generational shift in how gender identity is understood and expressed. Studies show that about 8% of young adults in this cohort identify as transgender or non-binary, a notable increase from previous generations. This growing acceptance of gender diversity is prompting institutions, workplaces, and communities to reconsider long-standing assumptions about gender roles and expectations. As more young people embrace identities beyond the traditional male and female categories, society is gradually adapting, signaling a future where gender identity is seen as more personal and flexible. This evolving perspective is also reflected in academic and literary discussions. Academic and literary works have played a key role in challenging and redefining traditional notions of gender. Tori Peters' Stag Dance, published in 2025, explores the complexities of gender identity and expression, offering perspectives that move beyond binary categories. Likewise, The Women Who Wouldn't Wished, a collection of essays released in 2024, examines debates surrounding women's rights and gender identity in Scotland, highlighting tensions within feminist and gender-critical circles. These contributions encourage readers and scholars to reconsider long-held assumptions, fostering a deeper and more nuanced understanding of gender. The influence of these works can be seen in broader cultural shifts, including changes in fashion and public attitudes. Cultural and social landscapes have undergone significant transformation regarding gender expression. The fashion industry, for example, now embraces gender-fluid and modest styles, challenging traditional norms about what clothing is considered masculine or feminine. This evolution is mirrored in popular media, where diverse gender identities and expressions are increasingly represented and celebrated. Mainstream brands and designers create collections for a spectrum of gender identities, fostering inclusivity. Public attitudes are also changing, with more people recognizing and respecting non-binary and gender-diverse individuals. These developments reflect a broader movement toward acceptance and the dismantling of rigid gender categories, paving the way for new frameworks to understand gender. One such framework is gender modality, introduced by Florence Ashley in 2022. This concept examines the relationship between a person's gender identity and the sex assigned at birth, moving beyond traditional binary understandings. Gender modality recognizes that individuals may experience their gender in ways that do not align with societal expectations tied to their assigned sex. By focusing on these nuances, we gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity of gender experiences, including those of non-binary and transgender individuals. This perspective supports a more inclusive and accurate understanding of gender, which is essential as society continues to evolve. The transformation of gender identity is marked by both progress and resistance. Younger generations are embracing a wider spectrum of identities, supported by cultural shifts and academic frameworks like gender modality. At the same time, legislative actions such as those in Iowa and federal efforts to limit gender identity data collection signal ongoing challenges. As society moves toward a future where traditional gender categories may hold less significance, individuals could gain greater freedom to define themselves beyond binary labels. However, This evolution will likely be uneven, shaped by debates, policy changes, and cultural dynamics. Navigating these complexities will be crucial in building a more authentic and inclusive society.